Welcome to April's Garage. Tyler is very upset about an article from Jalopnik.
Yes.
Let me read you the title. These supercars lose value so quickly, they're almost a steal.
And then their feature image for everyone to see is the Aston Martin Vanquish, which I drove today. And only one warning light came on, a low coolant warning. It's fine. It's fine.
So you're upset because I feel like this is right up your alley. Like you love these kind of cars to like kind of ride up their value eventually.
No. I buy them because they're heavily depreciated. So they're basically, this is what you should do if you're an idiot, which I can do it because of the YouTube channel, all this stuff, but the cars they suggested are just absolutely terrible ideas for the most part.
Have they bottomed out and so there's only one way to go up with them, so they should be purchased?
No, the maintenance,
no. Trash?
They made so many of them and the maintenance is so high and the prices are still, even though they were once, $300,000, $200,000 cars and now they're 20, 30, they still have the $300,000 repair prices, so
right.
It's crazy, yes.
So you're upset about this list because you agree with it, don't agree with it?
I don't agree with most of the cars on this list.
Well,
yes.
First one up is that Gen 2 Viper.
Yes.
The Viper SRT10. And you're upset about this one?
Because it's a terrible choice, because these weren't that expensive. I mean, yes, they were $100,000 new.
Right.
But now a good one is $50,000, like a salvage title one is $30,000. So this isn't an example of depreciation. Like, this is half off, like 60% off at best, new. So a second generation, or actually third generation Dodge Viper is not like a depreciation hero in my opinion.
Okay.
I don't know.
So should be on the list, should not be on the list?
Should not be on the list. So we bought one at New Orleans. Drove it.
It was so loud. Those side pipes are just like wildly loud. I feel like there's no sound dampening.
It had no mufflers on it. Somebody thought it was a good idea to cut those off, but yeah, we drove it from New Orleans to...
You can only do that on a BMW.
Destin, well, they did it. And we both had AirPods in to survive it. And it was bare...
We're like grandparents, I feel like. I can't hear, it's too loud. Turn the music down.
The drone was miserable.
Yeah, it was.
It's still for sale. So I sold it to...
It's not.
It's still... So I sold it. I had it for a few months, and then a dealer wanted it, sold it to them. It's a big name store. They have multiple locations here in town, different brands like Chevy and Volkswagen and Subaru. And they still have it almost 2 years later.
So this list is right.
No, it's $52,000.
Okay.
It's not a depreciation hero. It's an expensive car. It's the cheaper one to maintain, but it's still an expensive car. It's not a depreciation hero. Okay. So the next car on the list...
McLaren MP4-12C.
Terrible.
It's at a price that I can buy it now.
$130,000?
I mean,
$100,000? You can buy a kind of a miley one for $80,000, $90,000?
Right? Like, this is how you get into the supercar world when you're someone like me who's not killing it.
This is how you go bankrupt. So my car, I had a 2012 McLaren MP4-12C. Before I bought it, it went through one engine, 2 transmissions. I remember when
you went through an engine?
No, the previous owner, like I bought it with a blown transmission and then it was fixed.
Was there tons of miles on it? Like what happened?
No, it was 20-something thousand miles. So when I went to Jalen's garage for the first time, he had seen those videos and he kind of chewed me out a little bit. He's like, hey, my McLaren's been super reliable. It's been fine. Like, why are you talking about how bad it was? I was like, mine had an engine and 2 transmissions.
Right?
It's just the way, I think he likes Freddie's channel better because Freddie actually builds things and fixes things and they text each other.
Do you know how wild it is to see him standing around this wiring harness and like know everything that's going on in his videos? Like, you have to respect what Freddie does. So
he likes Freddie because he rebuilds them and I just whine about them and pay the bills. So I get why Lino likes him better. It's fine. It's okay. It's all right.
I like you better.
But the McLaren, you'd be much better off going a little bit harder for 458 or going a little bit older and getting like a 430, which would be the same or less than a 12C. You don't have the timing belt service to do. You have the flappy paddle gearbox and stuff to deal with, the clutch there. But that early McLaren 12C, there's so many expensive things to go wrong, and it's
cool,
not
it's their first one.
There's only a few independent shops in the country outside of McLaren dealers as far as servicing them, so the service is terrible. With a Ferrari or like a Gallardo or whatever for the same price point, there's a lot of shops that can work on those, which is a lot better baller on a budget, even though those are expensive cars.
Sure.
They're expensive.
Sure.
So what's next?
Next, Ferrari 612 Scaglietti. How do you say it?
Scaglietti, yes.
The Ferrari 612 Scaglietti. What do you think?
So they chose the front engine V12, and these are nice ones, $80,000, $100,000.
Okay.
My 599.
New 250, right?
Yes. A 599 is not that much more. It's not. It's $10,000 or $20,000 more, and you get the Enzo engine, which is way better. Once again, it's a baller on a budget, and they're talking about cars that are $100,000 for nice examples.
Sure.
I don't understand this list at all. So you get a V12 and a big old boat of a car, which is hindered by this F1 inspired gearbox that doesn't like the heavy car.
Right.
And so it's the worst driving of the F1 paddle box cars, in my opinion.
Sure.
And it's styling wise, it's okay, but it's not the best. So if I were on a budget, 4, 5, 6,
right,
all day long. You can get it with a 6-speed manual. It looks like a Ford Probe, but it's a Ferrari V12.
Looks like a Ford.
Gated manual transmission. You get that Ferrari old school GT experience, and those are $50,000, $60,000, which is much more baller on a budget. It's about like in a new Toyota Camry Land, fully loaded. That makes a lot more sense to me. So this list, it just seems lazy.
Here's one that you acquired recently, the R8.
The Audi R8.
What do you think?
What do I think? Well,
you got yours for so cheap, though.
The problem is, I've gone through 2 now. The Wizard has bought mine for in-store credit.
Wait,
it's gone.
The Iron Man spec one?
I sold it to him. Yes. So
he likes that?
He offered me $50,000 in-store credit towards all of my repairs and all the things I was going through. And since my tax thing's going on, I took it. But because the first one I bought had a bad engine, it was terrible. It was completely ruined. Somebody tried to swap in a normal Audi V8 engine, and it didn't work. Completely failed. The second time around with this one, the Wizard was looking into things. It had catalytic converter codes. Turns out the reason for that is it's blowing oil into the exhaust because the valve seals are bad.
Right.
So the engine needs to come out and be torn apart, the heads off, everything. This engine needs to be torn down and fixed on this 80,000 mile one that I bought. Well, I didn't know that when I bought it, but that's why it was so cheap. In addition to all the other numerous issues that it had and the cosmetic issues.
Yeah.
The R8, the V8. I mean. That's tough. It seems like the engines are pretty fragile because then there's the timing chain issue as well. Right. There's the AC compressor that can only be reached by taking out the engine or darn near if you're going to do it another way. The R8's a tough one. At least I've had really bad luck with it.
Right.
The V10, I think that might be the sweet spot. It's like a V10 and you get one with the old E-Gear.
Didn't yours have the V10 the engine cover?
The engine cover, but it was the V8. I feel like if you did a V10, and you did a manual transmission conversion on one of the older gearbox style ones.
So you're back to the conversion thing again. Did that help your 559 or 599 when you did the conversion?
Yes, it did. It did help. But I feel like that would be a great car for, all in $80,000, $90,000. Right. But once again, this isn't baller on a budget. This isn't like, this is still a lot of money. This is baller money, which is kind of silly.
What do you think about the Bentley Continental GT?
Well, she's right there.
Amazing car to drive.
I like it.
Love it.
Yes.
Very comfortable.
Yeah, you can buy a nice one for 20, 25 grand. Do not do it. The first couple of years are pretty rough when it comes to the issues. They had really hard plastic vacuum lines that break everywhere, and the engine is just so jammed in there that reaching them, it's impossible. You have to pull the engine out for vacuum leaks. So it's a one-time engine out doing all the vacuum leak stuff. It's $10,000. Bentley is really mean when it comes to their parts. And mine showed up with an airbag fault for the actual passenger airbags, not the suspension airbags. And we couldn't get a normal Volkswagen or an Audi module to work, even though it's the same part number. It's in the programming. And it's a $200 module for the same thing in a Volkswagen. It's $2,000 in the Bentley.
Shut up, it's the same exact part?
It's the exact same part number, it's the exact same everything. It's just the programming, which Bentley will not share, so they make you pay the Bentley tax, which is a 0 on a generic Volkswagen module.
Is that part of what makes them so exclusive and luxurious, and not everyone can reach for that and have that, and that keeps them in that sector? I don't know.
It's annoying. I would give this one, at least it's at a budget level, because this was a $200,000 car new. It was the fastest 4-seat car in the world at the time. Could go almost 200 miles per hour.
Right.
W12 and the W16, the Bugatti Veyron. So it's all in the same family.
Right.
And I'd say this is the closest one they've had to a hit here. I would say yes, this belongs.
Should be at the top of
this
the
belongs
list.
on the list. Yes.
Right. Your Vanquish. Let's go.
And they used the video where Jeremy Clarkson pretty much annihilated these things, and because of the flappy paddle gearbox, which is when you hit the sport mode, as long as you're not on hills, it's a fine gearbox as far as being able to run through the gears and have some fun. And it is a very special car. The depreciation is pretty unreal on those because it's like a carbon fiber car, very much like hand-built, low production, really high quality in that sense. For under $50,000, yes, but I'd say if you're going more for baller on the budget, the V8 Vantage will be the better call because it'd be easier to keep running, keep going. Hard to find a manual at that price, but you get an Aston Martin for less than fully loaded Camry money.
Well, wouldn't you say Aston Martin kind of overall, their depreciation is pretty high?
Crazy, horrendous, yes, yes. But I feel like the most livable one that most people would like that should be on this list is the Vantage, in my opinion.
Okay. You know what, I'm actually more curious on what Jake thinks about this one, but it's the BMW i8. Should it be on this list, Jake?
He's shrugging.
Jake's like,
He's shrugging.
I don't know.
BMW is terrible about their part support for these, at least. And in the last couple of years, I don't know if that's changed recently, but it's not getting any better because I go and see bricked R8s in the back, and they can't get the parts to fix them. There's certain issues. He corrected me. I was saying R8s and i8s. We're talking different cars. Also, I have full-blown allergies going right now, so that's why my voice is deeper.
You sound like Ed Bullion now.
Yes, I sound like Ed Bullion, and in my head, I have the brain fog from the allergy medicine and the pollen and everything else. It's always this time of year, which is why Sugar Mama getting a house in Arizona and us going there soon to go in the desert where there's none of this allergy stuff is wonderful. So thank you so much for that. But the i8 it's a 3-cylinder car with hybrid batteries helping it. The nice thing is it has a back seat.
Right.
And the doors go up. So it is cool in that sense. But I haven't owned one yet. I feel like these would be terrifying to own and keep running.
It kind of feels like the Fisker, which is more terrifying to own one of those, but it's just like that kind of, it feels like you're going to have problems.
Yes, BMW isn't really supporting owners very well on these from the factory. So the aftermarket, I don't know if it's come up yet or it will, but these seem like very, very difficult cars to own, and that's why they've depreciated so much, but they're beautiful.
When they came out, it was so exciting.
Yes.
BMW is having this really cool supercar-looking electric thing.
Well, like Tom Cruise pulled up in one in some futuristic movie, I think, or whatever, and it was like, oh my God. And they actually made the car look like the concept, which nodded the cap for that, yes.
Which is very cool. Last car on the list.
Yes.
Maserati GranTurismo.
Okay. This one's good.
Okay, you're gonna like sitting back. Here we go.
This one's good because you get a Ferrari-derived V8, which Maserati doesn't really do anymore.
Right.
And you get beautiful Pininfarina styling.
Right.
You get elegant GT car. You get 400 plus horsepower. And yeah, they're 20, 30, 35 grand for some really nice early year examples. And they started making them in 2008, and they still look pretty much the same today. They look really close to the same.
Sure,
hard to tell them apart.
They don't change their body styles a lot.
The thing about Maserati is, for the non-car enthusiast, Maseratis, cool, he has a Maserati. For the car enthusiast, we all know that Maseratis are hot garbage.
Is that why John Ross drives one?
He got it because his was cheap. It was like $18,000, something like that. Really, really cheap. They do not last, they do not tolerate abuse very well.
Yeah.
And their engines are Ferrari derived, and 100,000 miles might as well be leaving this galaxy for a Maserati.
Really?
It is a feat when that is achieved. So usually they go pop, and I've had multiple that have gone pop, or I bought them popped, or have gone pop shortly after. So that
when you
is
say pop. What is the pop?
Pop goes the weasel, pop goes the timing chain, or whatever else.
It's just completely devastates it.
Something just completely mechanically totals it.
Right.
So, but in the meantime, if you can buy one like a 30, 40,000 mile example for 30 grand, and you're only driving a couple thousand miles a year, there's a lot of people, since they made enough of these, there's a lot of people that have figured out workarounds to save money on parts and things to try and keep them going. I mean, obviously John Ross has kept his for a year, so if it was a burden to him, he would sell it in an instant.
He's like a mechanic, so that makes sense.
Yes, but like same thing with like a girl annoys him once and then he dumps them instantly. So he doesn't have much tolerance for BS.
He holds on to them longer than the girls.
That is absolutely true, John Ross. I know he's wanting to settle down and find a nice lady and have kids.
He's gonna kill us right
if,
now.
if you're single,
Literally gonna kill us.
Blonde usually is what he goes for. If you're blonde,
He's a nice guy.
dial him up. But if you got a little bit crazy in you, then he's probably gonna like the first. You're out pretty quick. So anyway, interesting tangent there. That's how we're ending this video.
Yeah. It's all for John Ross.
John Ross comes to the house and helps with a few things, including the latest project on stuff. So I'm sorry. And thank you so much for coming and helping and being a solid human being. And I'm sorry I just brought that up.
Thanks so much for watching, except for John Ross, who's never going to watch again.
I'm sorry. It just came out. It's the allergy fog. It's.